I'm well aware.
Et tu, Brute.
Welcome back, everybody, to Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always, and you know when shit hits the fan, I'm your Zen Archer, just sitting out here protecting your ass. Sometimes, I don't know what to feel with this medley of rock and roll pussy, but, you know, roses are free, they say. So take me away, baby. You need your head, my zombimbo. Let me tell you, though, about my co-host. He's what Diener was talking about when he says just another onion head sitting around here. Coming from the city of the broken-hearted after he was cast out from heaven like the baby bitch he is. Believe me on that one. One could call him a macho freak when he tells Bella from hell that she's gonna do it or do it and cry. Chancy motherfucking Greif.
Woo!
Hi.
Way to bring it, baby.
I just had to call him a baby bitch. I had to.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on, Harley? Glad to see you watching. We gotta get you on one of these episodes eventually, but
Word
like Larry Bird. But that's right, folks. Maniacal Music Musings is back once again with our first male guest in a while, and our first and return of a friend, as always. We are very proud to have back Aaron Leckinger from podcast.
Thank you. I prefer to identify as vaginally challenged, but
I'm not even going there. But yes, and you may say we talk about bringing him back. He's on this show like 3 times a month now. What the fuck? Those are special people. Those aren't regular episodes. So yeah,
it's the Rolling Stone 500. Yeah, it was going to be a monthly, and suddenly it's double that.
Because everybody wanted 2 episodes instead of that, instead of a freaking artist bracket. So
that's fine.
Okay, I go with what people want. And folks, speaking of what people want, these albums, all 3, may not be that, but we'll see. We'll see what albums got brought forth today. As you know, as soon as I decided to bring Aaron back on, I knew it was going to be another strange, kooky album that I'd never heard before, and God, I was right. But I'll get into my thoughts on it in just a few. Aaron, what album did you bring?
I brought the Todd Rundgren masterpiece, A Wizard, a True Star. Have either of you heard anything by Todd Rundgren before?
I think I may have.
I think this is a trick question.
Okay.
Are you trying to get us to say yes as an artist or as a producer?
No,
because
that's true.
Because
I meant as an artist, and I wasn't trying to trick you. But yeah, I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have. That was kind of where I was like, wait a minute. No, I've heard of Todd Rundgren for sure.
So
it had been a long time.
Right before this album came out, he had, or right when he was working on this album, he got a hit from his previous album. I think that's when Hello, It's Me hit it big.
Yeah.
And the record company wanted like a part 2 of that. And he said no, and decided to experiment with hallucinogenics. And this is the result.
It's a trip.
Well, I mean, I knew the name, didn't know what the hell to expect from music from him. Knew the name, and I was just like, all right, it's Aaron. Let's just hit play in this and see where the hell it goes. But
yeah, there's a few songs on here that sound like more typical Todd-ish songs. 2, maybe 3, but and there's a medley of covers too that I'm not counting in that.
Oh,
but But
Okay.
for the most part, yeah, he was known as the male Carole King. He
Well,
was
I
like a
mean,
singer songwriter type. He made a lot of money as a producer, so he was able to follow his own heart as an artist. Basically, he produced Meatloaf, "Bat Out of Hell," among other things.
Yeah, Grand
Among
Funk
many other things,
Railroad,
the
the New
Tubes,
York Dolls,
New
the
York
Tubes,
Dolls.
fucking Bad Religion.
Mhm.
that may be where another name from that, some of those albums, but and it's actually funny you say that since Carole King is on the Rolling Stone part that's coming up this Saturday, but
Mhm.
and I mean, and you answered one of my questions by saying that's a medley of covers because I was like, okay. I'm like, he did not do the song that the freaking uncle was singing in the shower in Home Alone. That's a major part of the plot. So,
No, well, he did.
well, as a cover, but yeah, it's not his song. But,
Yeah.
but But I mean, overall, I was actually pleasantly surprised by how good this album was. I was like, some of the stuff was just like ridiculous, like so ridiculous I couldn't even laugh at it. It was just like really.
Mhm.
But I kind of expected that, so it is what it is. And I overall enjoyed the album. I'll say. I mean, I I actually think I did like. I got enough. Actually, I have enough honorable mentions, so I'm pretty sure like at least the top 5 are put in my like songs on Spotify. So that's
Cool.
something for you. A lot of guests don't get that privilege at fucking all. Like the guy who was supposed to be on last week, or was it this week? I don't know. I think last week you were supposed to be on, and as soon as we saw his album, me and Chancy were just like, "Oh fuck no!" But nobody wants to listen to Bono. But
Huh.
That was last week.
yeah, that was last week. Okay,
Rejected you too?
yeah, we didn't reject it, but he
No,
didn't get.
he rejected us.
Uh,
Oh, we
oh,
did.
he rejected your responses.
He
No,
gave us
no.
the it's not you, it's me.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. His loss, but to hang out with the musers is always a good time.
Oh
But
yeah. Thanks for having me, musers. If I haven't said that
oh,
yet,
it was long due
always
time
always lovely to
for
be here.
long due time for your return, and I knew you'd be willing to come back on. There's always another album you have I never heard of, so
Yeah. So the thing about this album, Todd didn't release any singles from it because he wanted it to be heard as a whole piece. And I guess you can get by with listening to one side or the other. Side one is definitely trippier. I think it's called
yes.
International Feel in 8 or something like that. And
Yeah.
I forget what the second side is called. I should bring up some notes or the Wikipedia entry or something like that. But it's pretty lengthy. Way too long.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it
Um,
was. I listened
this
to it at work today, and it was pretty freaking long. Like
yeah,
it took like
this
at least
is
a good hour of my day.
this is as at the time it was the longest or tied or right up there for the longest record on vinyl.
Yep.
And they achieved the length of it by putting the grooves closer together, and that reduces the volume and the fidelity. And he addresses that in the liner notes and just says, just turn the volume up.
That's
uh,
awesome.
well, I mean, yeah. Chancy, what did you think of Mr. Lundgren?
I actually had to listen to it like 3 or 4 times
Good.
because like I did what I normally do, which is I set up to play video games and started listening to stuff. And like I didn't realize what was going on at first because usually I look at the track lists and all that other stuff. And I I'm playing the game and I look over and I'm like 3/4 of the way through the album already. I'm like, what the fuck? What? So I started it back over and then, I did that like I said 3 or 4 times just trying to figure it out. And then I went back to your audio audibles to be like,
Oh,
what the
cool.
fuck? What the fuck is going on here? And then I like just started looking into it. And I was like, okay, I got this. And then I listened to it again. And then I was like, I made my decision as far as what I was going to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it. You took it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like I enjoyed it. It was super awesome. Like there was, like, it wasn't something that was just like, oh man, fucking, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't get it. I got to look into it. It
Yeah.
was like, this is interesting, but I need to actually
This,
pay
this
attention to
is
what's going on
interesting.
here.
And I don't
Yeah,
get it, and I got to look into it.
yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't do too much deep diving into it because I am used with the artist I listen to normally. I'm used to weird ass albums, so
Hmm.
this I was able to dig right into this and be like, all right, this is funky, this is different. This has no set like rhythm or progression in it, but I fucking like that. So let's just jump around and have a madness of a good time. And it was fucking worth it. It was definitely a fun ride. Some of the songs really stuck with me a lot. It was a lot, reminiscent of a lot of CDs Chancy's brought with like the little skits like every fucking so often. So and like not even like words or anything, just pure musical skits almost, and it was interesting. That part was interesting. I think a couple of those are honorable mentions, if I'm not mistaken. But what would you say are your
Dig.
top five on this one, Mr. Aaron?
My top five.
Yes, your top five.
Um, number one for me was Zen Archer. It's where the bloodthirsty Zen Archer kills all the pretty things for no reason at all. And it's got these awesome sound effects aside from the music of arrows like flying through the air and thunking and thwacking into trees. That's my number one. Number two, International Feel, the first one, not La Feel Internacional, which was song number 12, I think. Although I could, if I could combine them both, I'd put them both as number two. But yeah, they bookend side one. It's like a reprise, really. And I think in International Feel, the acid was dropped. That's when the trip started. And then the next song is Never Neverland, and that's when the trip gets underway. And then tick tick tick, it wears off. The trip's really beginning. You need your head is kind of self-explanatory. Rock and Roll Pussy. I'm just going down the list of tracks instead of my top five. I'll give you my top five in a minute. Rock and Roll Pussy was written about John Lennon. He had a beef with John Lennon. They were in a
That's
restaurant in New York or a bar, and Todd says that John Lennon hit a waitress or somehow abused a waitress, and they had back and forths, back and forths. He wrote this song saying that he's not really an activist, even though he sings about revolution. At the end, he says, "Will you get your nails dirty, or are you only just a rock and roll pussy?"
that line stuck out definitely.
Yeah. Then there's so that one's. I guess he got angry during his trip there. Dogfight giggles, silly wildlife sounds, and it reminds me of Pink Floyd's several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pick from Umaguma. You don't have to camp around's a kind of weird one. That's someone, I think it's about a closeted gay person. Sweet boy, save the satin undies. You don't have to camp around. Flamingo is one of those musical interludes that you probably think so weird, Jeremy. And it reminds me of early Frank Zappa from like the Burnt Weenie Sandwich era, Holiday in Berlin, ABC. They've got that kind of sound. I know that he was influenced by Zappa at the time, so
It definitely had a feel.
yeah. Then Zen Archer, I already mentioned, was my number one. Just Another Onion Head / Dada Dolly. Those are his tributes to Groucho Marx and Salvador Dali. And at this point, he's tripping pretty hard. You want the obvious, you'll get the obvious. Then I think he starts coming down when the shit hits the fan. Sunset Boulevard. It does jam musically, but the protagonist seems to think he'll be okay no matter what happens as long as he can get back home to California. Then side one ends with La File Internacional. And he's definitely coming down from the trip. And he says, wait another year, Utopia is here. The next year, he did introduce a new band, Todd Rundgren's Utopia.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I don't know if it was prescient or if he had that plan ahead of time. And then side 2 is more traditional Todd. I don't think he's tripping anymore. Sometimes I don't know what to feel is kind of it would fit with the hello, it's me type thing. Does anybody love you's got the great line, love between the uglies, the most beautiful love of all. And then we've got that medley of oldies. I'm so proud, ooh baby baby, and la la means I love you. And it's I don't know, it's kind of seems like a beautiful way for him to come down from his trip. He's being easy like Sunday morning to steal from the Commodores. Hungry for love, that's a kind of wild one. Ounce of sweet Jamaican, snowy spoon of powder, half a pint of Bushmills. Nothing gets you high when you're hungry for love. It's kind of a jam, but I ranked it kind of low, to be honest. I Don't Want to Tie You Down is a very Todd ballad. And I like the end of it. Oh, Jesus, I don't want to nail you down. Is It My Name is another, this one's kind of homophobic. My voice gets so high you would think I was gay, but I play guitar in such a man-cock way. But that song really does rock. And then Just One Victory became his encore song for like decades. I think any Todd Rundgren show, you're going to get Just One Victory in the encore. So, number 1, Zen Archer. Number 2, International Feel. Number 3, Just One Victory. Number 4, Flamingo. Number 5, Is It My Name? There we have it.
Oh shit! Just got an education in music history here.
At least as far as this album's concerned.
Oh yes. But see, it's that you could take this with a sign of respect there, because there's actually more honorable mentions for your album than there is for any other album on this whole show for me. So
Well, there's also 19 tracks on my album.
I mean, that didn't help things. But my first honorable mention was Tick 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 It Wears Off, because that was kind of like a cool little interlude type thing. So
Yeah, I like that one.
number 9, I can't believe this one's so low, honestly. I thought it'd be so much higher knowing me, but it's Rock and Roll Pussy, because I think it was a lot higher in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it got
That was my number 9 too. I ranked them all. I could have gone down the whole list, but I don't know. I felt like 5's my 5.
I don't doubt that you ever rank, you rank everything, so I never have doubt that you were ranking for what we're talking about.
Yeah.
He does his homework, folks, unlike a lot of people. But number 8 was You Need Your Head, because that's funny. And I took that I took the song in 2 different ways, and I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Number seven was When the Shit Hits the Fan / Sunset Boulevard. Even though when it got to the Sunset Boulevard part, I was like kind of like, that's all right, that's all right. And then number 6 was, which was originally my number 1, but got pushed down. Number 6 was Zen Archer, because of the saxophone. The saxophone was fucking dope.
Yeah.
Some might influence DFD there eventually with that.
So you got pushed from number 1 to number 6.
You'll see.
It's because it's my number 1. That's why I'm.
I know. It was number 1 at one point, but I think it's like also one of the first tracks in the fucking album, so that's probably why. But
It's the 9th track out of 19.
Yeah, okay, maybe it was number 1 at one point. But number 5 is Just Another Onion Head and / Dolly, because I like.
That's a good one.
Once again, I like the onion head part. I don't like the Dolly part. Like that part, kind of like.
If you check out the lyrics, he does reference like at least 6 to 10 works of art by Salvador Dali in it.
Not saying that's going to register with me if I look at the lyrics even, but yeah.
Do you know who Salvador Dali is?
Of course I do. I just don't know his works of art like that. I appreciate art, but
you know the paintings with like melting clocks.
Yeah, of course I do.
Those are Dali.
I know that.
Okay, so he references the clocks, and there's the one. Oh, he does a lot of melting clocks in a lot of his works. There's one with the lobster phone, and
Lobster phone.
Yeah, he references his movie Un Chen Andalusia.
No, I appreciate art. I just don't research it like that. Not since school and shit, but
Yeah,
I mean, I could recognize artists when I see some of their work, but
yeah, he's
I have to see it. I can't just hear the name and be like, unless it's like one of those few. But yeah,
he's
number
a
4.
surrealist with a really funny mustache.
Oh yeah, that much I know. But I remember my art history from middle school. But
Yeah.
number 4 was medley because that medley was actually pretty fun, and like you said when you said it was covers, I was like, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I didn't think
I'm
he
so
wrote all
proud,
these.
ooh baby baby, and la la means I love you.
Number 3 was what to feel because that was actually a banging ass song.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ones I heard.
Sometimes I don't know what to feel. Yeah.
Number 2 is sometimes. Oh,
that would have been the single, I think.
Either that.
It would have been solid.
Either that or my number 1. But number 2 is sometimes I don't know because that was the lyrics in that song freaking were amazing. So
sometimes I don't know what to feel is one song.
I broke into 2 songs. So,
and
I'm pretty sure Spotify did too.
It should be one tune.
Pretty sure Spotify. Oh. Okay, unless I accidentally put a 3 there just because I didn't realize it was 1 because I didn't put a /3 or anything. Oh, duh. Okay, so yeah, then I guess Zen Archer would be number 5. There you go. Zen Archer's in the top 5.
It moved up.
It did. Just because
by default
went from 20 tracks to 19.
Right.
And number 1 was the one that I think should have been the single, Is It My Name?
And that's a good one too.
Because I thought that was like more of like a traditional rock song in a way, and it was the guitar and drums in it were freaking amazing. So
Yeah. Does Anybody Love You could have been single too.
Yeah.
Could have. I could see it being a single. I'm not saying it's one I would like, but it's.
I don't want to tie you down. I could see that too. The ballad.
That line at the end would never.
Ooh, baby.
They never let that play the radio.
Tie you down. Oh, Jesus. I can't do my voice that high, but.
Well, Chancy, what were your top 5 for AA Ron CD here?
So, I honestly have never done this before.
I feel that's a lie.
No, honestly, I haven't. They all go in order.
Awesome.
As it was intended.
I kind of had that thought in my head at one point.
I was listening to it last night, and I honestly, there's like Tick 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 It Wears Off, International Feel, Hungry for Love, Is It My Name, Zen Archer, all of those things. Like as you were talking about them, I was like, I remember these songs. I remember that. But like when I came across that whole, it was supposed to be this thing. That's why no singles were put out from it. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's really cool. And then I went back and listened to it again, and I think I was like, I think I was in the medley when I was just like, nah, this is going in. It's all going in, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight through 19.
1 through 19.
The whole piece of art transferred unilaterally.
Cool.
But like,
I went over your whole list already with my notes.
You did, and I'm super stoked about it because like I've put a whole album in before, but like never because of the fact that I wanted it as it was intended by the artist.
You would say never in order like that, or was it
like if I mean it's in order, it's in total order, but like
the other one where you said you did a whole album, was it in order as well?
No, a lot of times I would rank them.
Mm-hmm. So this is your first album in order, probably.
To the best of my knowledge, yes, in its entirety.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Like,
yes.
Like I said, any other time I've always ranked them out and had different places and different track numbers in different areas.
1 through 5 with 14 honorable mentions.
Right, basically. But like, I really did like that "Hungry for Love." It was like, and also, is it my name? Like, I didn't even realize, the other stuff in the actual song because I was hearing the song.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said that, I was like, oh shit, that's right. That's fucked up. Okay, but still, goddamn, I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah.
But I love the whole starting off with chaos and it
Song still
slowly
made
rests.
5.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I dug the whole thing, and I really felt like it would be weird to like it'd be like trying to start the album.
I do want to
Not
apologize to all Todd fans for having ranked songs on this album, but it's the whole premise of coming on this show.
and
And I
I
appreciate Chancy doing what he did.
I was gonna say, I mean, I went against the grain, but I did it for I had a
You did it.
purpose.
You did it for the right reason, for the right album. Yeah,
He fought the law, and the law didn't win this time.
that's right.
So yeah,
So he changed the law.
True.
All right. So Jeremy, we did
as a sheriff
yours.
in this year
We
part,
did.
and as a sheriff in this year part, I can't say I'm a fan of that too much, but I'll let my deputy get away this one freaking time.
I did it.
Yeah, deputy.
Did someone record all our picks? I only have my own.
It's probably because I don't have any.
Yeah, I know
'Cause
yours. Actually.
Jeremy gave his already. Yeah, it was so it started with you, and then it went with Jeremy, and then it landed on me. That's probably where.
I'm just trying to figure out what finished first.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Zen Archer was still. But
I would say Zen Archer would be pretty high up for me if I had to like specifically pick one song.
Yeah, it was my number one. All right, cool. Shall we move on to another album that I love?
Yes.
Chocolate and Cheese.
Actually, we're gonna save that one for last because you know you gotta wean them slow.
And then an album that's new to me. I'm not saying I don't love it, but I'm not saying I do love it yet either.
That's good. That's good because I like
that's a wild album. It was an interesting choice.
Well, here's the thing.
They put out 7 albums in a year as one unit.
Yep, because of COVID, baby, and because they were going to go on tour, but instead they said let's just record a shitload of music at once before this guitarist leaves the group. So
sounds a lot like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Well, I decided to bring for this one because I said to myself, the next time Aaron comes on the show, this album is going to be for him because it's. I brought one of these albums a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, like a couple months ago now, too, on this show. I brought Abracadabra last time because it was going against Metallica, and that one's inspired by Metallica and other '90s bands.
Abracadabra, the Steve Miller Band album.
No, Abracadabra.
I wanna reach out and grab you.
No.
Okay. Abracadabra.
Their Abracadabra, Lordi's Abracadabra is a little more like I want to reach out and kidnap type shit.
And Abracadabra.
Yeah,
Cadaver. Yeah. Oh, it's Lordy. Like Gore. Everything has to do with that.
I see what you did there.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare compare them to Guar. They are a fucking imitation Wish knockoff Guar. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Actually, my coworker told me last week that he was listening to Lordy. He likes them better than Guar.
Yeah, well, you know, lots of folks are wrong.
I dug the Lordy. It was like kind of disco White Zombie.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I bought this album because this album in the Lordiversity collection was inspired by Earth, Wind and Fire, Bonnie M, and the Bee Gees, which I know are all that whole era of music. I know Aaron likes, so I definitely was like, all right, the album after this one I could have brought too, actually, because it's album based on Rush and freaking Pink Floyd. But I originally almost did bring that one, but then I'm like, no, I won't bring this one for him. I have to.
So you did you pick just the Superflytrap portion of that, not all 7 albums, right?
Obviously, obviously, I wouldn't do that to you. Or I mean, I would do it to Chancy.
If not,
I would do it to you.
If not by coincidence, all 5 of mine are coming from the Superflytrap portion.
Oh yeah, I would hope so. Because that's the album I sent you. I didn't send you the whole freaking thing.
I think there was another link above that one for another one of the albums on it.
I mean, Lordiversity is weird because like at first I didn't really like these albums at all. Like it took me a long getting used to like these because then I realized they're supposed to be different styles. I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. Because they also on Spotify, I start seeing like all these albums released like 3 at a time, like over like every couple months. I'm like, what the fuck's going on, Lordy? Why are they releasing so much music all of a sudden? Usually it's like 3 years between fucking albums. I'm like, this is crazy. And I mean, I love Lordy because they basically are supposed to be like a disco war. I mean, they were inspired by Kiss, so that's what inspired them. They actually, I think they met at a Kiss concert, if I'm not mistaken. But
Wild.
so I mean, it's pretty funny, and I don't know. I love them, and I'm like this CD because of the style. I thought would be perfect for you, and I know you like gimmicky, weird rock, so I figured you'd love this. And to hear you actually liked it, I'm actually surprised. But I was like, I don't think he. I'm like, I'm like, I think he'll like it, but I still don't think he's gonna give good reviews. But we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely got a top 5 here.
All right. Well, Chancy, for this newest incarnation of Lordy, what did you think since you just heard the other version a month ago or so?
I got a top 5.
So this is your second dip into Lordy?
Yeah, it's more than second.
Like it's 4th or 5th, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It was hard for me because it just kind of reminded me of when Guar did it, like way back. Because like Guar didn't necessarily do a disco song, but like they did.
No, I don't think they did.
They did like almost every other genre. Like they had a swing song, they had rap, like they had a rap song, they had like basically almost every other genre you could do. They
I didn't know they had
tried
a
to
swing
cover.
song.
Yeah. Have you seen me? It's great. It's so fucked up. And then it was a really hard disconnect for me. Nice, dude. Nice. But it was a hard disconnect for me because you got like your stereotypical disco sound and then the fucking singer. And it's just like these two fucking things don't. They're just like rubbing two sandpaper pieces together and
Yeah,
just fucking.
it's a very Rob Zombie sound, the male lead singer, and then there's also a female backup vocalist.
Hella, yeah. Her name is Hella, and that's her
And,
beautiful picture on the album cover too. But all nice and spread like a '70s girl.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta love it. But I mean, I was able to find top 5 plus I believe 4 honorable mentions, if I'm not mistaken.
So you cut one track off of the album.
I'm sorry, 3 honorable mentions. 3 honorable mentions.
Okay, I was gonna say you're such a fucking innovator here.
Aren't I? Well, my first honorable mention was Cast Out from Heaven because I like that one, just not too much. I mean, it's good enough though. I mean, the lyrics are decent, and the songs that these songs remind me of that they're paying homage to is what makes me like it. Because I hear the beat and I'm like, I think I know what song this is originally supposed to be, but the fact that like, the lyrics they do are just so freaking outrageously hilarious. And my number 7 was Believe Me. I didn't think he'd be alive again. Like I love the fucking lyrics. I love Lori's fucking lyrics. Number 6 was Zombimbo because it truly is just a homage to Kiss. It's just a basically a cover of a Kiss song in a way almost, but that's all I hear in the guitar.
I Was Made for Loving You.
Actually, you're right. That is pretty close. Yeah.
That's the Disco Kiss song. That's
Yeah, the Kisco album.
There's a lot of Disco Kiss songs. Thank you.
Yeah, a whole album's worth.
I mean, I'm pretty sure "Lick It Up" is a freaking disco song too.
It's on the Kisco album.
It's kind of more a rock anthem though.
Oh yeah, no, that was later when they took off their makeup.
Might have been, yeah.
That like on their worst performing CD or something like that. Maybe I don't know if it might have been close between the Kisco album and then the non-makeup album, which I was like, what the fuck, you guys?
And then Macho Freak, I freaking love because I love Macho Man, and Macho Freak is just a funny version of it, basically. And they do it really well. Number 4 is City of the Brokenhearted, because that's like a classic 70s ballad. It's freaking gorgeous. Like, the lyrics are amazing. I think their voices are perfect on it, honestly. That one, at least. I'm not going to say their voices are perfect for every one of these songs, because they're fucking not. But another song their voices are perfect for is my number 3, Cinder Ghost Choir. And the guitar in that freaking song, like, that is a ballad and a half. The guitar in the middle of that song is phenomenal. I honestly, I'm scared to see what they're going to sound like without that guitarist. I really am. But number 2 is Gonna Do It or Do It and Cry. Because it's just kind of fucked up in a way how good it is with that type of topic with them. But they like to go there every once in a while. And it is a very 70s attitude, so. And then the number 1 song, because the first time I was listening to this album driving somewhere, I forget where, but my daughter was in the car. And my daughter's name is Bella. So my number 1 track is Bella from Hell, because my daughter, upon hearing it, started dying up laughing in the back seat every time she heard her name sung. So, and she loved the From Hell part. So
Awesome.
And now whenever she's bad, my wife and I just look at her like, yeah, Bella from Hell. But
if I'd have known your daughter was named Bella, this might have ranked a bit higher than it did.
You don't have to rank
It's
higher
still
on my.
it still made my top 5.
But yeah,
No, it wouldn't have. It would have stayed right where it is.
I don't know. I think it's just a really good song to begin with anyway, and
Yeah,
and
it wouldn't have overtaken Zombimbo.
every I don't know about that, but I mean every child's a demon at points, so it kind of lines up. But Aaron, what were your top 5? I'm actually dying to hear this.
Well, I want to say that I left a short note for seven of the titles. I'm going to read the notes without reading the titles.
Oh, God help us all.
Disco Bingo. Love That Groove. Yes! Exclamation point. Then we have Kinda Murdery.
Kinda murdery.
And we have Kinda Rapey.
Super rapey.
Kinda Arsony. And Kinda Rapey at the end.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it was a wild album. Number 1, or should I do 5 up to 1?
I do 5 to 1. I'd like to be surprised.
All right. Number 5 looks like Cast Out from Heaven. Number 4, Bella from Hell. Number 3, Zombimbo. That was the one with yes. Number 2, Spooky Jive. That was Love That Groove.
I knew you were going to pick that one. I knew it.
Number 1, Macho Freak. Disco Bingo. And kind of murdery,
Nice.
kind of rapey, kind of arsony, kind of rapey at the end. You can probably figure those out on your own.
Basically.
You should listen to their album Sexorcism if you want the kind of rapey vibe.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't think kind of rapey ranked in my top 5.
Chancy had to listen to that album and he was just like, what the fuck? But,
Yeah, it was a struggle.
That last Bow Chicka Bow Wow was a shocker. What happened there? Was that a demon?
that's Mr. Lordy when he comes in.
Oh.
And that skit was actually fucking hilarious. I don't think I usually don't listen to the skits in their albums unless I'm listening to the album for the show, because I usually just like don't even like the skit, and the rest of them just go my like songs. But
yeah, the last one didn't seem to have much in the way of consent. The pizza guy had extra sausage.
Well, Mr. Lordy would, but I mean, he's a freaking like 8-foot tall monster. So, but
I don't know.
That's it.
The pool cleaner, he had a big pole.
Chancy, what were your top 5 for good old Lordy?
Let's see. Number 5, City of the Brokenhearted. Number 4, Zombimbo. Number 3 was Spooky Jive.
I knew you that. I knew it.
Because it's
And
good.
yeah, dude, It's about the only thing that was really like I had fun with it, but it was like trying to fit your foot into a shoe that's too small. And
It's like
number 2 was Cinder Ghost Choir, and number 1 was SDG -6.
I know it.
Number one was the first track for you.
Yeah.
It always is. That's just Chancy's way.
That was silly.
Well,
Gotta
Chancy does that.
gotta hide the blow and skunk weed.
Yeah, right? Gotta hide the blowing skunk weed.
Bow chicka bow wow.
We're gonna, yeah. I don't know. Lordiversity is they're all pretty freaking good. the one that's you should check out the one after it though. That's supposed to be Rush and Pink Floyd like honoring.
Oh, he's got a prog one.
It's called Masters of. I think.
Imagine that a Finnish band has a prog album. Okay,
Right?
it's called what? Masters.
I think it's called. The hell is it? The Master Beast from the Moon.
Huh?
It's. I think it's about like a carnival on the moon type thing, but it's fun. From what I've heard of it, it's pretty funny. But Chance a lot. What album did you bring us?
Well, when I saw what was being presented as far as the other 2 albums before, I was like, I need to think of something that's going to be either really good or it's going to get Aaron's attention in some fashion. And so, you know, they've been on the show before, and when you think of weird, you think of Ween. So I went with fucking Chocolate and Cheese.
Yeah,
by Ween.
My second favorite Ween album.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely up there for me, for sure. It's got one of my easily top 5 favorite songs of theirs on it. That's actually part of the reason why I was like, I have to bring this album at some point. And then when I was like, oh yeah, Aaron's coming on and he's bringing, okay, yeah, for sure, this is what I'm picking. Like I'm a Ween fan to begin with.
And
But
I want to
like,
mention about this album that there's a tie to the last album I brought, which was I think I brought Funkadelic Maggot Brain, right?
yeah,
You did.
yeah,
You did.
And Maggot Brain was that basically a guitar solo by Eddie Hazel. And there's a song on Chocolate and Cheese, A Tear for Eddie, that's an emotional tribute to Eddie Hazel.
nice.
Mm.
I didn't even know about that. That's fucking.
That made it more appropriate.
That's even better, man. That's fucking awesome.
But yeah, this happened to be an album that I already know very well, and I appreciate limiting my homework, if nothing else.
Right?
Yeah. Well, since this is not my first encounter with Ween, since our good friend Kevin Stoner brought it back a year ago when we did what was it, Nautilus or what the fuck it's called?
The Mollusk.
The Mollusk.
Yeah.
I knew it was sea based.
Yeah, that one was also written on heavy hallucinogenics.
You can tell.
And there's a I gotta plug an Aaron's Audio Audibles on Our first one was the Mollusk.
Nice.
Whole point of that series was just to get Phil to listen to the Mollusk. And after that was a success, now I get albums that Phil's never heard, my co-host Phil. And that's the whole premise, is that me or a guest make Phil listen to an album he's never heard before that we love. Anyway, back to Ween, the Mollusk / Chocolate and Cheese.
Well, I mean, as it being the second Ween album I ever heard, I actually like it a lot better than the Mollusk. This album was actually pretty freaking entertaining. It was the last album.
Probably more accessible in a mainstream way than the Mollusk. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually listened to it first this morning. I think before air. I listened to Aaron's Monday at work. So yeah, today I listened to Chancy's, and it was freaking pretty damn like entertaining, and plus it was funny. Every time someone walked by my computer and on Spotify, I saw the freaking album cover with the girl's tits hanging out. So, but yeah,
you weren't familiar.
I was familiar. I just didn't care. But
you weren't familiar with the album cover.
Oh, I've been familiar with it for a couple days now, so that's been
But prior to this, you weren't.
no, of course not. I never know. I never knew any Ween stuff till this show, but
Of course not. He would never know of anything good.
They were
No.
they were on Beavis and Butthead. They did Push the Little Daisies.
Yeah,
I,
I fucking love that song.
Pure Guava.
Yeah, dude, that's a fucking great song too.
but yeah, this one's way better than the Mollusk. I liked it a lot more. It was some of the songs were funky, of course, and some of the songs I'm just like, why? But that's just Ween for me. That's the way it's gonna be in every album. It's always gonna be those songs.
If you're not into acid-soaked sea shanties, okay, I can see why you'd prefer chocolate and cheese.
Right.
If I want sea shanties, I'll listen to freaking Hailstorm. But yeah, so I was able to find three honorable mentions. So you know,
Kind sir, it's a mollusk I found.
Jesus Christ. Well, Chancy, what were your top 5 for your own album?
You mean top 11, right?
Of course I do.
So, number 11 for me was the HIV song.
Yeah, that one's my number 16.
Yeah,
I feel like
nice.
Ween has to put a homophobic track on every album.
Oh, at least one.
At least
Every track, everyone.
2 on this one.
Maybe. Number 10 was Candy. Number 9, I'm a terrible person and I know I'm going to hell, but I couldn't stop laughing every time I heard it. And that's fucking Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down.
Love that song.
Oh my god, it's so fucking crazy.
I had a Ween show, a live Ween show before I had ever heard this album. So I'd been listening to a live version of it long before I heard Chocolate and Cheese.
That would have been fucking insane.
It's a stone groove.
Yeah, for sure. Number 8 is Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony?
He coughed up in the driveway, and I think his lungs fucked up.
I think his lungs fucked up. Yeah. And then number 7 is Drifter in the Dark. Number 6 was Baby Bitch. Number 5 was Roses Are Free. Number 4 was Take Me Away. Number 3 was Don't Shit Where You Eat. Number 2 was Voodoo Lady. And number 1 is probably one of my top 5 favorite Ween songs, and that's fucking Buenos Tardes, Amigo.
Of course it is, Chancy.
Cinco de Mayo on Tuesday.
And I had hoped we'd see each other again. What do you mean, of course I would, Chancy? Like, I'll wait for you to give your whole list or whatever, but like, you can't not. Like, that's a crazy awesome song.
I mean, I love that song, but it's my number 13.
Which, that's respectable. I had heard that specific song long before I had heard the whole album. So it was already ingrained into the hardwire. And I was just like, oh yeah, dude, fucking this is what's up.
Yeah.
And
before hearing
then
the
there was
album, I'd heard Roses Are Free, Freedom of 76.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Spinal
Yeah, that
Meningitis Got Me Down. I knew those 3 before hearing the album ever.
Yeah, Freedom of 76 definitely be another one worth mentioning.
Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony was also on that.
Yeah, Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony? Fucking. But yeah, dude, I love that twist at the end with fucking Buenos Tardes, man. That's fucking I'm always like, you guys got to listen to this fucking song.
Yeah, it's a slow burn though.
It really is.
Well, Aaron, what were your top? Well, however many number you want to
do. Let's go 11. Number 11, as I said earlier, he coughed up snot in the driveway, and I think his lungs fucked up. Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony? Number 10, Drifter in the Dark. This album would have fit very well on. This song would have fit very well on another one of their albums, 12 Golden Country Greats. And I love the part that just goes doo 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 doo.
Yeah.
Part that I can't get out of my head. Number 9, A Tear for Eddie. I mentioned that earlier. It's the Eddie Hazel tribute, Parliament Funkadelic, Maggot Brain. Number 8, what Diener was talking about. It's just a feel-good Ween song, man.
Yeah.
Somehow I have number 8, but it should be number 8. And number 7 is, I think 7 is what Diener was talking about. So I'll say 8 was I Can't Put My Finger on It.
Yeah.
This one would have fit nicely on the Mollusk. And then they could have moved Waving My Dick in the Wind also to 12 Golden Country Greats, which I think only had 10 tracks. And then it would actually add 12 tracks.
That was my number 1 song on that album, damn it.
Can't Put My Finger on It?
No.
Waving his dick in the wind.
Waving my dick in the wind. I love that song. Where am I at? Number 6, Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down. Smiling Mighty Jesus. I love Diener's solo in this one, but yeah, this song came from there was like a hillbilly family that somebody was sick, and they said, yeah, they got the Smiling Mighty Jesus, and they've come to find out they meant spinal meningitis. So that's why the lyrics, Smiling Mighty Jesus, spinal meningitis got me down. Anyway, love that song. That's number 6. Number 5 is the jazzy as fuck, Joppa Road.
Yeah, that's solid.
Number 4 is a longtime show opener, and it kicks off the album with a groove, Take Me Away.
That was great.
Yeah. Number 3, probably the most popular song on the album, really. And I think it's the first single. And it's a love letter to Philadelphia. And it's Jeaner's Time to Shine. It's Freedom of 76. And Gene croons on this one. Number 2, Boogie 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 Boogie. Voodoo Lady. Your lips are hot and spicy. Serving up red beans and rice. Yeah. Voodoo Lady's the shit. But number 1.
It really is.
Don't believe the florist when he tells you that the roses are free.
That's a great saying.
Fish covers this song for a reason, and it's awesome. Take a piece of tinsel and put it on the tree. Cut a slice of melon and pretend that you still love me.
Well, folks.
Don't pretend to understand exactly what you put on the tree. Don't believe the florist when he tells you that the roses are free.
Sir Chance a lot. Like I said, I did have 3 honorable mentions for your album here.
Nice.
Number 8 was Take Me Away, because it would have been higher, but every time I freaking look at the title, I can't help but think of the Blue Oyster Cult song, so it kind of ruined that song for me. But I know you can't say shit because you like Blue Oyster Cult, so
It seems arbitrary and weird, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't understand why you couldn't differentiate, but that's okay. You fucking it goes completely with your whole I have no taste in art form.
We'll allow it.
Well,
it's your show.
Ironically, Chancy, my number 7 was about you, baby bitch. So,
baby bitch.
I mainly had to put that in the list.
Fuck you stinking asshole.
Stinking asshole. Yep. I'm better now. Please fuck off.
Yeah, Jeaner had some rage sometimes.
My number 6 was Spinal Meningitis.
Meningitis.
I said it right. Meningitis. But
Smiling Mighty Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that song's freaking hilarious. That song's hilarious, but it's kind of like at the same time, like halfway through, I'm like, this is still going on. I'm like,
and then the solo kicks in, dude.
Mm-hmm. And then Cousin Bobby breaks out his jazz flute.
Fucking A. Never quit in the middle of a hoedown.
My number 5 was Buenos Tardes Amigo, because that shit was At first, I'm like, this song's not that good. Then, like, as it starts getting into it, I'm like, okay, picking it up. Then
Suck you in, did it?
About halfway through, it sucked me in good, and then
Like I said, it's a slow burn.
It definitely is. Number
And then you
5
get
was
and then you get the reveal, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
exactly. My number 4 was Joppa Road because it kind of reminded me of like Kokomo, like flow from Beach Boys in a way.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool song. I like the freaking jazziness of it. Number 3 was what Diener was talking about because that song was kind of like swingy in a way almost. It was really good.
Jeaner. They're Gene and Dean Ween. Diener and Jeaner. That's not their real names, but that's their stage names.
Yeah. Well,
You like the Ween? You like the way the Ween makes you feel?
I mean, we know Chancy does, but
They got some good banter.
Number 2 was Roses Are Free because that song was freaking amazing. The lyrics were great, and the whole like freaking beat and all they do was freaking amazing. And number 1 was I Can't Put My Finger on It. I enjoyed the shit out of that song. So
Can't argue with those choices.
You really can't. But so I mean, yeah, overall I was pretty satisfied with the 3 albums this week. I can't say there's one I was dreading, like a certain album with a certain asshole that is a lead singer.
You should at least hear every U2 album once, man.
So good on that. I'm so good on that. But if I had to hear It's a Beautiful Day one more time, I swear to God.
Uno, dos, tres, catorce.
But, folks, the album 3 have been brought, and we want to thank Aaron for returning as always to come back on the show because it's always a pleasure to have him on. And
Can you call me returning champion, please?
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely the returning champion.
Yes, you are.
Right on. I just want to pump myself up.
Well, actually, okay, yeah. We'll take away the previous returning champion's title. Here he has the BBC around his waist, so he's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Armando. But
Gotta have
Hey, man. There can be multiple champions, man. Have you ever watched boxing?
World champion of the world. What are you?
Right.
World champion of Earth.
Oh, fuck.
Well, folks, we'll be back on Saturday with Aaron, actually, for the Rolling Stones Part 5 bracket.
I'm the Intercontinental Champion of the Interplanetary Galactic Alliance of the Rectal Opening.
Yeah. We'll go with that. But, but yes, folks, the Rolling Stone bracket returns on Saturday. We might be having an episode Saturday morning, a regular episode, maybe, I don't know, still waiting to see if that pans out. But if not, then we'll be back for a regular episode next Tuesday as always. And till then,
it might be an irregular episode.
I mean, we get those from time to time.
That's this one.
This isn't a regular episode. This was planned.
Yeah, but I tried to make it irregular.
Well, with you, it's always a planned thing to be irregular. So
there you
see
go.
how it works there.
Thanks for having me, guys. Check out
Yes, check out podcast on everywhere I tag them. So there you go.
Yes.
That's the best way.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Chancy. So it was groovy to re-listen to Chocolate and Cheese and to listen for the first couple times to Superflytrap. Macho Freak is Disco Bingo.
And Chancy, where can they find you besides the Void?
Well, I mean, the Void, obviously. The Red Eye Roundtable on TikTok and Instagram, and Red Eye Table on X, and here.
Don't you need an X in tic-tac-toe?
Yeah, I know. You do actually need X's in tic-tac-toe.
Well, folks, you, of course, can find both your musers on Facebook as the Unapologetic, Uncensored, and Untamed Podcast Collective Facebook group. On XX Baby and the Gram, it's at Juggalo Bastard. On TikTok, it's at Juggalo Bastard Podcast. And on YouTube, it's Maniacal Music Musings. Or you can check us out on Facebook as Parapost Network. Great place to stream for all vodcasts and podcasts.
Did you say TikTok?
TikTok. In honor of the senator herself, Miss Bubbles. But that's what we started. That's what started that. So we will be back on Saturday with the Rolling Stone bracket, folks. So come back and enjoy the craziness of fucking calamity that is Rolling Stone bracket parts. So until then,
2 Dead songs in the bracket.
yes, there are. And 2 Prince songs. Users out.
And 2 Prince songs.